going to be a competition. We should give them an award for the best T-shirt.
I know. Let me see this.
Where did I come in? I get top 5 at least.
You've made the finals.
Say your
Yeah.
name and your affiliation to the camera, and then we'll begin.
Jamal Finkley, Black Tree TV. So you spoke yesterday at the Skywalker Ranch, and you said a little bit about your pitch and that you pitched it right here by this lake. Like,
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that moment when you had to bring the story to Mr. Lucas, and it's like, how was that pitch? Can you tell me a little about that?
Well, George is retired, so
Yeah.
we were actually pitching it to Kiri Hart, who's
Okay.
head of development at Lucasfilm, and yeah, we had spent the week at the ranch trying to just finesse the final details because there's something about that place. It's like the spiritual home of Star Wars in a way, and so we wanted to, even if it was just in the water or just something to do with the land. We just wanted to be in the home of Star Wars. And I'd grown up looking at the images of Skywalker Ranch in behind the scenes books and things, and dreamed of like, oh my God, one day maybe you could visit, maybe something could happen where I might be able to be allowed in for a moment and stand there.
Yeah.
And then it came, and it was, you're making Star Wars, get going, off you go. And we were kind of given the keys to the kingdom. You could go into the archives, and there's all the original Millennium Falcon, the actual Death Star. There's the Ark of the Covenant from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Han Solo in carbonite. It's got everything, and that was really surreal. But my favorite bit of all that was, you go to the very back, and there's these drawers, and you pull them open, and there's the original artwork that inspired A New Hope, and it's what they took to the studios to get the money to make Star Wars. And to me, that was like, these are like the holy grail of like what began it all.
And, I mean, that's got to be super different as a director. I mean, like, you never get another film where you have that amount of external assets and everything that can affect you as a creator. Or like, as a director, how did that affect you in this project?
I mean, to some extent,
screen?
yeah, we had it easier than George when he started, and in a way, if you were doing, like, Star Wars is, to me, has a lot more in common with not the future and science fiction, but the history, the past and history and mythology, and anybody who makes a historical film, like a war movie or something, they know how to make the soldiers look, they know how to make the helmets, because it's real. We had the advantage of knowing a lot of that stuff because it had already been established in the original Star Wars films, but we were trying to give it a twist and a spin. For instance, if I get the name right, but there's a helmet called NEM-1 that was used in Vietnam, and I just wanted the Rebel helmets to just subconsciously feel like that. And we tried all these different designs, slightly different shapes, and it just didn't feel like real war until it was this certain silhouette. And so we were trying to borrow, obviously, from the originals, but give it a little twist. So you feel like, just like if you'd only ever seen a modern car through, you're from another world, you've only ever seen one modern car. There are other cars, you can see other ships, other robots, but they should feel like, oh, I get it. I see how that's connected.
And lastly, as a visual effects, I mean, we've known your rise from visual effects to now. Like, did that part make you a perfect person to kind of do like this Star Wars picture to bring kind of like that visual mass universe to the screen, but to be able to tell the story? Like, what was the visual effects background that helped you?
I mean, I don't know if there's ever a perfect person other than like maybe George Lucas, but it was I think what it does give you is what computers are good at and what they're not good at, and what people can build in front of the camera and what is hard to do. And so that dividing line between, we're going to build this, but then that's going to be in the computer, was really useful. Like, for instance, it was really important to me that we go to real locations and we don't rely on a lot of green screen and blue screen, and we ended up going to like Iceland and Jordan and the Maldives, and there's even some stuff we had to shoot for the Empire there's this futuristic train station in London called Canary Wharf, and they came in and they basically turned it into an Imperial facility overnight, and we shot for 4 hours in there, and you add things, you then digitally in the computer add and change things that you didn't, you could do better, but it's to have something real that you can film with, that the actors can look at, makes all the difference, I think. And then obviously ILM come in and they just take it to the next level. And every day was like Christmas doing visual effects reviews. You'd be like 25 new shots a day, you know, to do the whole movie in time, and you just go, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. Oh my God, that looks amazing. So it's pretty crazy.
I'm really excited for all the fans to be able to see, you know, this full project. Great job.
Cheers, man. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Cheers.